Welcome back to the Footy Social. Today, you might have just watched our last video, which was talking about the Champions League final. It might have already happened. We don't know. We don't know when this video is going out. We all gave our opinions and everything. We did a quiz as well, so it's an interesting video if you want to go and watch that. But today's video, we'll be watching this video by Thiago. He does a lot of decent football knowledge videos. Tells you stuff if you don't know it. Just go and watch some of other videos. It's quite informative. It's quite interesting. So which is why we've chosen to react to the new what UEFA are doing next year of the Champions League, Europa League, and the new Conference League, and how it's all going to work. So it's slight changes, and I don't think we know we don't know the changes yet, because apparently there are some slight changes. And for once, my club West Ham, we're in the Europa League. We're not even in the Conference League. We're in the Europa League, and Aaron and Dan, Chelsea, might end up in the Europa League. Anyway, so yeah, are you two ready to start?
I'm ready.
What do you think?
I mean, to be honest with you, I don't want anything. I don't see what the issue was. I don't want any changes. So hopefully these changes are kept minimal. Really,
they're just going to power boost, isn't it? The big teams. So always get.
Yeah. Is there a way we can take that? No, that's fine.
Just press play.
That's what's going to happen.
As football fans, we are privileged enough to watch a lot of European games, right? We have the Champions League on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and we have the Europa League that most of us don't even watch in the early stages.
I hardly watch the games when we won it, to be fair.
We have enough to watch, we can't complain, man. The system is good as it stands, right? Well, UEFA clearly disagree, and that is why they introduced the UEFA Europa Conference League, mostly referred to as UEFA Conference League.
More games. Have you seen that trophy?
Officially announced that the Conference League was coming back in 2019. Nobody really seemed to care about it. But as the tournament will soon become actual reality in the next season, 2021-2022, more and more people are starting to wonder what this thing is actually about. And this is quite understandable. I've made a poll on Instagram asking you if you know what the UEFA Conference League is, and a big majority of you answered no.
I assume it's just a worse Europa League, isn't it?
Yeah. With worse team, but he does explain it. I have watched the video. Dan and Aaron haven't. He does explain it better. So we'll.
To you, what the UEFA Conference League actually is about, how exactly it's going to change European football, and also give you my opinion on if it is a good or a bad idea. Let's go. So basically, the UEFA Conference League is the third tier UEFA competition below the Champions League and the Europa League. There will be 32 teams competing in 8 groups in the group stages of the competition, just like we're seeing it in the UEFA Champions League right now. And the majority of these 32
didn't they shrink the Europa League's teams as well?
From lower ranked UEFA
I don't think they have.
Yeah, they have. It's 32.
Is that further on?
It used to be 48 or something.
That's what they used
no,
to
because it's no, I think it's 64 because they had a round of they had a round of 32 before the round of 16. Because Champions League goes straight group into round of 16.
They had teams drop down from the Champions League as well, don't they? So it's 48.
So there would be 8, wouldn't there?
So they needed like
teams in it.
200
teams entered the
European competition.
That's what they said.
That's like qualifiers as well.
Qualifiers in it. So 200
it's like the
teams
FA
overall,
Cup, like 750 teams.
Yeah, that's like. But when you think about it, in a European competition, that is quite a lot of teams.
Yeah.
200. I can't name two. You know what I mean?
You probably could if you sat down.
Yeah.
If you had 3 hours.
So that is quite a huge difference to the Champions League, where 50% of the group stage teams are actually from the top 4 leagues. So let's have a quick overview. The Champions League has 32 teams. The Europa League, with its 12 groups, has 48 teams.
Yeah,
the UEFA Conference League will come in with another 32 teams.
So Europa League does have more teams.
We're going to have 112 teams competing in European competitions per year. Whoa, isn't that too much? It probably would be, but it's not going to happen, because the number of teams in the Europa League will be increased from 48 to only 32
so it's going to have like
teams, meaning it will have only 8 groups instead of 12, and all 3 European competitions will have this system.
So are they still going to have third place in Champions League drop into it?
Just
that is a good question.
Are they still? Because if there's 32, then if they had 8 drop from third place, they just have.
So they're going to stop that thing where they have, when they play like in Europe, when it's like.
They don't need to anymore, do they?
I don't know.
And I mean, is third place in Europa League going to drop down into Conference League?
We'll find out, won't we?
Potentially. I know. I've seen it. I'm but they do. It's interesting. So we'll wait and see.
European competitions per year, which is still a lot, but the focus lays on this evolution in the Europa League, because it changes quite a lot in European football. But let's start right from the beginning. The Champions League, as we know it and as we love it, will more or less stay the same. The 8 group winners and the 8 runners-up will still go to the round of 16 of the Champions League. It's always been like that, and it will stay like that. Don't
Nothing
worry.
changed
But
there.
then, what happens to the 8 third-place teams
There
of
we
the
go.
Champions
There we
League
go.
group stages? You know that in the past, these 8 have always been going right to the Europa League round of 32. But now, if the Europa League only has 32 teams, can there be a round of 32? Of course not, and that is where the first big change comes into place. The 8
What do you reckon? Oh no, it says that.
Yeah, I was literally gonna.
What do you reckon it is?
Oh, so is it going to be?
Playoff.
There's going to be the 8 third place Europa League and the 8 third place Champions League going to play each other to go through. Something like
Is
that.
it? What's it called? Oh, now I've kind of afraid. No, let's just watch.
third place teams of the Champions League, instead of going to the round of 32 of the Europa League, which was scrapped, it doesn't exist anymore, they will be going to the Europa League knockout playoffs. This is a new round, similar to the old round of 32, but a bit different. I'm going to explain that later on, but let's move on to the Europa League. So the 8 group winners of the Europa League group stages will now go directly to the Europa League round of 16.
I assume
instead
it'll be
of
the second
going to
places
the round
then.
of 32, which, as you already know,
Yeah, they're
doesn't
playing
exist
second.
anymore. And this is where it becomes
There we go.
special. The
Yeah.
runners
Yeah.
up of the Europa League group stages won't follow the 8 winners of the
Chelsea,
group
West
stages
Ham
to
then
the round
in
of
the
16 directly,
Europa League
but
playoff.
they will also have to go
Well, we'll
through
get an
the
easy
Europa
group
League
again, won't
knockout
we?
playoff. Do you still remember who else is in the Europa League knockout playoffs? Yep, exactly. The 8 third place Champions League group stage teams will face the 8 runners-up of
Very quite interesting, actually.
That's quite
That
good
is
though.
quite
I
cool,
do
actually.
like it. I actually do.
Yeah. I mean, it lets, if you win your group as well, if you're in the Europa League, it's like, well, you get to go straight through to the next round.
One thing is, you'll say Europa League people who finish second in the group.
Yeah,
like United,
you'd say they're
Arsenal
favourable.
use their youngsters against. You know what I mean? The runners up in the Europa League going to be quite a poor team.
Also,
I feel
third,
like
I think
third
I-
place in the Champions League isn't always a great team.
not always, but some are decent. I real like if you put percentages on
Yeah,
who's
I mean, you
going
have
to win
teams like-
next
you
year.
have
I
like
reckon
Shakhtar
6
Donetsk
will
and
go
stuff.
through from Champions League third place and 2 maybe.
Yeah.
But it's
I mean,
sort of
who
like-
was third place this year? It was like Man United dropped
Yeah.
down into it. Did Napoli drop down into it? Ajax?
Yeah,
So
but
they'd probably-
you look at it as in the current system, the team who finishes first in the Europa League group and the team who finishes third in Champions League get the same reward. It's a bit like
Yeah.
this is better because that means when you're first, you get a higher reward for finishing third in the.
Well, you might play them anyway, but obviously
Yeah, eventually,
they have
but,
to play an
but they have to play an extra
first.
game, and you get to go into the next round, which I think is more fair because I think sort of finishing second in the Europa League group step and then finishing third in the Champions League is sort of the same level anyway, maybe
Yeah.
Close.
close in level.
the Europa League group stages in the Europa League knockout players. So each UCL third place team will face a Europa League second place team, and the 8 winners of these 8 fixtures will then go on to face the 8 group winners of the Europa League group stages in the Europa League round of 16. Okay, first let that sink in for a second. Are you ready? Okay, then you can probably already imagine what happens to the
They're
third
having a
place
playoff
team
as
in
well,
Yeah.
aren't
the
they?
Europa
They're
League
doing the
group
same
stages.
thing.
The old system we have right now, what happened to them was basically nothing. These teams were just knocked out from Europe completely. But now in the new system, they actually have another chance. Some of you might already imagine what will happen to them. Bingo, this is where the new competition comes in. They will go to the UEFA Conference League knockout playoffs. This is basically the same thing as the Europa League knockout playoffs, just on a level below that. So the system in the whole
I feel like, to be honest, at this point you'd rather just finish bottom of your group in the Europa League, wouldn't
Yeah,
you?
this
I mean,
is
if you
gonna be
if you finish
outrageous.
third in the Europa League, you'd be like, how you must be pretty
we're
bad.
in the Europa League group
you
stage,
must be pretty bad.
We can either go out, finish bottom, or there's 3 different ways of going through to the next round. Like
And
we could be shocking and finish third and go into the conference.
This is too much football. You got to think too many. The whole point of teams like Chelsea and stuff like that, we've got squad depth to do all these games, but it
Yeah.
really.
To be fair, it doesn't really.
I think
It
that
doesn't really cut it down that much.
You've got to play. Think
Well,
about it, even if you go in the Conference League, you got teams who are like what comes 7th, right? They're gonna have to play. Like they're playing in their European, they're not going to be big sides, especially when you go to other countries. I know our league, we got Spurs. Did Spurs finish 7th?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they've got a big squad, they'll be alright. But you've got teams in other, like Spain, you've got the 6th, 7th place in Spain who are going to be playing all their football and they're going to be playing that as well. That's a lot of football. They're going to have to bring a lot of players in. And I feel like smaller teams will find it tough. I know it's just more games in general and you've got to travel. You've got to think about all the travelling. You're going to be going to like wherever it is.
Yeah, but
And
teams
that's
want to play in these competitions as well. Like maybe not the Conference
I don't
League,
know.
but Europa League and the Champions League. the teams.
I reckon
Teams,
we'll see
mid-table
throwing
teams in
games.
all these leagues.
We're going to see slipping, I think, of teams.
Teams are just going to throw games. If they're like
Yeah.
third place, they're just going to throw the game and hope they finish fourth, so they can just go out.
I think
Just
it's been
go
bad
out.
for the conference. I think the conference teams who are obviously not that great in general, I feel like, and there might be a few who will be really good and they'll be fine, but there's going to be a few which are really going to struggle with getting in, staying in
It's
this
going to be funny
competition.
seeing who Spurs are in their group with.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to be with like
Spurs are gonna-
Limerick
Spurs'
FC,
road
aren't
to
they?
the final would be
If
hilarious.
Spurs
Yeah.
don't win that, if they don't win this,
Yeah.
they're not going to win anything. Let's be
Yeah,
real.
that would
Like
be
this is, if they don't win this, then just give up.
Who's looking forward to the, the Champions League cards road to final, Europa League road to final? It's going to be a Conference League road to final.
Jeez. Oh,
It's
yeah,
going to be
like
like black and green because you
Oh
can
yeah,
see
they're gonna
them.
have their little cards and stuff.
Yeah.
That's gonna be kind of cool, actually. But like,
Yeah.
so he plays
The
with
Europa League. The 8 group winners go directly to the competition's round of 16, but the 8 runners-up of the UEFA Conference League will have to play the knockout playoffs. And there they will also have to face the 8 third-placed Europa League teams for a
More
spot
games
in
for
the
those
UEFA
things.
Conference League
So
round
many
of
games.
16. So yeah, that was a lot of info. I guess you'll have to let that sink in first. Basically, the Europa League being decreased to 32 teams and those new knockout playoff rounds are the only significant changes. But once you've got it, it's pretty simple actually.
I do like it, but I like the idea of more games. But
Yeah.
for-
I think
as
it'd
a
be funny.
football-
I think it'd be funny if the losers of the Europa League knockout playoffs then went into the Conference League. So you could have like a team finish third in the Champions League, drop down to the Europa League playoff, lose that, drop down
Yeah.
into the
No,
Conference League
so
playoff.
there's teams in the Champions League. You know, there's playoffs before the group stage.
Yeah.
So there's teams trying to get into the Champions League now. I can't like tip someone like I don't know.
I think Monaco have to play one as
might be
well.
one of those. I
Play
think.
qualifying one.
They're trying to win. They need to win to get into the Champions League. If they lose their playoff, they'll be in the Europa League.
Yeah.
Then if they come third in the Europa League group, they're going into the Conference League,
Ooh.
and then they could end up winning the Conference League from trying to get into the Champions League.
I think
So
that's
if you
too
win the
much.
Conference League, are you automatically qualified the Europa League, or do you go into the Champions League? Do you reckon?
It must be
No, Europa League. Yeah.
No,
Europa
but
League,
you're
and then
trying
if
to
you win
tell
the
me,
Europa
say if
League,
someone
then
finishes third, then they lose to the runner-up, they get put in the conference. So that's what happens.
Wait.
So say if you come third in your group, Chelsea come third in their Champions
Yeah.
League.
No.
No.
If you drop down for the Champions League and lose your knockout playoff,
Then you're
just
gone.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay, cool. I was about to
Yeah.
say that'd be
Just
that'd be
shut down,
that'd just
shut
be
down.
outrageous.
That's
just too much.
Groups. Well, these 8 teams will then go on to do absolutely nothing. They are just being knocked out. Luckily, it would have been way too complicated.
Third places.
That'd be great.
You'd be playing like the
Those
Burnley-
third
yeah.
places are now winning their own competition. They're playing
Yeah.
Sheffield United. All teams finished bottom of the table last season.
Yeah, so you could be playing like playing at the Bernabeu, Real Madrid away, and then suddenly you lose 2 playoffs round and you're at Limerick FC.
Yeah, it's just
Dundee
a bit
United.
outrageous.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
Let's talk about what teams will actually play in the UEFA Conference.
Well, we know now. This is obviously
First of all,
before we
have those
knew.
teams who win the domestic cups. This mostly applies
Already
to
cup
lower
winners
and
going to that
lower
league,
nations in the
not the
UEFA.
Euro.
It's just from lower and average.
Oh.
So I assume that would be like the Czech Cup winner.
Yeah.
For lower ranked nations, that would be 2nd or 3rd, and for the average nations, that would be 3rd or 4th.
Astragugu.
And then for the higher ranked leagues, 1 or 2 teams between 5th and 7th will qualify for the Conference League. For the top 4 leagues, that is mostly going to be the team that places 6th or 7th, depending on who wins the domestic cup. But now we'll add some extra spice to the competition. Some teams that are eliminated from the Europa League qualifiers will go on to play the Conference
Yeah.
League qualifiers.
Yeah.
And even some losers from the Champions League
That's what I
qualifiers
was
will
saying,
get another
yeah.
chance in the Conference League
This
qualifiers.
is too much. Too much.
So there's free round of qualifying.
This is outrageous.
You know,
Thank
there's,
God we just finished
you know, there's
top 4.
free round of qualifying. So that's what basically what he's saying. If you're in the first round of qualifying for the Champions League, if you lose, you go into the second round of the Europa League qualifying. If you lose, you'll be in the third round of the Conference
Yeah,
League
what is
qualifying.
going on with this?
So it gets like
This is
so if you're like Dundalk, you'll be 100% to be in the group stage of the Conference League.
Competing in the UEFA Conference League. To give you a better picture of what teams we could potentially be seeing in the Conference League next season, here are some examples. We will have an interesting mixture of clubs from all of
Bohemian.
Europe. For example, we could
Panathinaikos,
see Bohemian
FC Sion.
from the very low-ranked Irish league, next to Panathinaikos from the Greek league or FC Sion from the Swiss league. These 2 are average leagues in the UEFA rank.
I
And
like
it's
his
also
accent.
important to note that none of these 3 are
good.
currently
Yeah.
the best teams in their respective league and country. But on the other hand, we are also
Arsenal didn't even make that league.
They
No,
didn't
they
even
didn't
get
make
there. Oh,
They're not
that
good
is
enough for
funny.
that. For the
That
two
is
bob,
funny.
two bob league.
Oh, geez.
Lazio, I think, got Europa League. I think Roma were the one in the Conference League, and Sociedad got Europa League as well. So
Yeah.
Well, it would have been Villarreal in the Conference League, wouldn't they? But
Yeah.
they won the Europa League. So.
Yeah.
Real Sociedad
So
from
now
La
they
Liga,
pop one of the
Arsenal from
Champions
Premier
League.
League, or Lazio
Yeah.
from Serie A.
I hope we get
So
them.
just
I
by
agree.
these 6 contenders, you can already see what a great diversity of clubs from all over Europe we're going to have in the Conference League. The
That's a
variety
cool
will
thing.
be even much higher than in
It's better for the
and already there
worst
we see
leagues, I
some
think.
teams that
I think
many of
it's
us have
cool.
never
Well, the
heard
ticket
of.
revenue is going
So
to
is
be
that
cool,
a-
isn't it?
I
I mean,
think
at the end of the day,
it's-
Bohemian FC are going to host Arsenal on a European Tuesday night. Like, it's going to be great for them, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be brilliant.
Yeah,
I think that's why another
Well,
reason
host
why they've done
Tottenham,
it.
Host
Yeah.
Tottenham, I mean.
Yeah, I think it's another reason why they've done it, because all these leagues, like, they very rarely, like, they get into group stage games, but you wouldn't really
Yeah.
watch group stage games. Whereas these teams have a chance of getting to knockout rounds now.
Yeah,
where
can push
And it's,
on,
but the
but
thing
you
is
can
that even they
actually
don't like
watch them.
the rest of the. You've got the top 4 from each 5 leagues. That's 20 teams, and then you've got 12 which are made up of. It's always Shakhtar in it.
Yeah,
It's always Shakhtar. You've always got a
Porto.
It's
Bruges,
always
Club
Porto.
Brugge, they
Always a
get
Belgian team.
Yeah.
You don't get
Yeah.
Bohemian in there. They're never going to get there.
No.
Maybe you get like a Malmo or like an AEK Athens or
Or
something.
like Apoel.
Apoel got to the quarters one season. Remember?
Oh,
They won it,
yeah.
So it's like, but it's never actually anything exciting. It is the usual occurrences. So I think this
When
is
is
a
this
bit more
getting
exciting.
played? That's the question.
Or Conference League. I don't know what night.
Yeah, because it's not going to be. Was it a Monday night? Is it a Friday? It won't be a Friday.
I reckon
night.
I reckon
I
they'll
reckon
change it
it'll
all
be
up.
Thursday. I reckon it will be Thursday again.
But isn't that too many on the channel? It'll be on BT as well, won't it? It's the same rights.
They'll probably do like 6 p.m.
Yeah.
for conference and 8 p.m. for Europa League or
So
something.
let's swap it around each day.
Yeah,
time.
that's a shout. Yeah, fair.
Good thing or a bad thing for European football? Let's get to my opinion.
This is
I have to
Fiago's
admit
opinion.
that when the news first came out of UEFA releasing a new competition called the Conference League, I was really skeptical. I thought most of us don't even watch many Europa League group stage games, so who would want to watch a UEFA Conference League that is even level below that and only has bang average teams? And this is still one point I'm worried about. The group stage might get a bit boring, but other than that, I have to
Even
say that I
Champions League
changed
boring.
my mind.
Yeah,
Group stage is
yeah.
boring
Here's
sometimes.
why.
Europa
First
League.
of all, I think it is a great opportunity for smaller teams that are currently struggling to qualify for the Europa League to finally get some recognition within Europe.
Yeah, that's what
and
he
of
said.
course, it's also financially beneficial, and it could actually save some historical, traditional teams from bankruptcy. And the next point is strongly connected to this. As the competition will be focused on teams from lower ranked or average ranked nations in the UEFA ranking, those leagues can also get more credit. They also get more awareness from the other countries in Europe, from the big countries. If one of their teams pulls off a surprise run in the competition, goes all the way to the final, or just amazes us fans, this would be a great advertising for the league and the nation. The Conference League is a stage where
Then they
many
might get like an
teams
extra
from
slot for one of the other
leagues
ones,
and
wouldn't they?
nations are finally getting the chance to prove.
Well, that's all how it's done. It's all done on like your rankings. So,
Yeah.
like, say if I
Like
don't
it's
know,
not a top 4 in League One, is it? It's the top 3 are in League One. And
Yeah.
4th place gets Europa League. And
Say
League
if, so at the moment only one team. I know two Scottish teams get Europa League now because get Champions League playoffs now because of how well Rangers have done in the last 2 years.
They've boosted up their
ranking, and there's other nations that have dropped off massively in the last couple of years. Like I remember England, there was a point like
a few years ago.
6-7 years ago
Yeah.
when we were literally terrible, where it was just Spanish German teams always in it. There was
Yeah.
the rumours that we dropped down to three.
Yeah, I
three
remember
teams
that.
in Champions League.
3.
Um,
That's crazy to think now that like how things have changed.
yeah, and
with that.
I think surely we'll be number one. We're still second to Spain, but
It's
surely
gotta
soon we're
change.
going to be number one.
Yeah.
prove themselves and thus get more recognition outside of their country. And finally, a point that I find really interesting personally is that the Europa League basically loses 16 teams to the Conference League, and as it will only have 32 teams from now on, this will definitely increase the average
Yeah,
standard of
true.
The
competition.
Quality.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
The Conference League will also make the Europa League more competitive, and it will be higher rated by fans. So this was my verdict on the UEFA Conference League that will start next season. I have to say that I feel very positive about it. I am excited and I am hyped for it to start. So now that you know what the UEFA Conference League will be about, what will change in the new system, who will play in the competition, and what we can expect from the tournament, I want to hear your opinion. What do you think, guys? Is the Conference League an opportunity for smaller leagues and nations and for football itself, or is it just another pointless competition that we don't really need?
Right. So he's basically asked for our opinions. So what do you think about Conference League overall then?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't actually research anything about it ever up to this, but I think I'll give
listening
it a
to
go.
this,
I'll give it a go. I'll see what's it.
I'm excited to see what it's about.
I'm not joking. I'm not joking as well. I actually am quite excited for it in a career mode sense. I think it's going to be quite fun doing it on career modes on FIFA. But yeah, I won't watch any of the games. I might watch the final or something.
Yeah,
But
if
I
it's
won't
like
watch any of
if
those.
it's one of those, if there's a game on like a Wednesday night and you're not doing anything, you might just put it
put it
on.
on.
Yeah,
background.
or maybe it might be like I don't know, like like Stad Ren or playing or something, and you're like, oh, I want to see what Camavinga's about. Maybe you'd watch that. It'll be something like that, or like or Slavia Prague might be in it, and you'd be like, well, we'll link with this Alex Kraut. I'll see what he gets on.
At Moscow.
Does he?
Yeah, he left Slavia Prague.
And my man, you'd be like, right, well, I want to see what this SEMA kid's about from Slavia Prague, and they're playing in the Conference League round of 16 or whatever. I might give it a go, but
could be in the Champions League. Slavia Prague.
yeah, but
I think,
it's all right.
in a sense with it though, I do believe that might, in a weird way, kind of split the teams. So the good teams, I feel like, like this season, how it's gone, and it's kind of the gaps shrunk in the sense of the top to bottom. I do believe, I know it sounds stupid, but maybe not as much in the Prem, but like in other leagues, I feel like it will. I know there's dominance already, but I feel like it could separate them a little bit because people don't understand. I know there's the thing about football, but I feel like playing lots and lots and lots of football really takes toll on teams. Like in a sense of
there's not
it happened to Wolves a bit.
There's not many, so what there's
West Ham did brilliant this year, but I don't believe in Europa League next year. I don't believe
it depends what squads we get. It depends who we bring in, what squad depth we get. But also one thing that this thing didn't really say is the amount of teams from the big leagues hasn't changed. There's still 7 teams in Europe, in England. They've not added more teams on to play in this conference. There's still 7 teams, so it's not changing much there in Spain, Germany, England. They don't get more teams. It's the worse nations now getting more teams in that league. So it's not really going to affect
It's
that
one of them things
much.
where it's like, you're saying like you're adding more games, but if you said to 7th place Spurs, you're going to win the you're going to qualify for the Europa League because Leicester won the cup and they're already in the Europa League. They'd be like, okay. Or you say to Spurs, oh, you're qualifying for the Conference League now because we changed the rules, but it's the same amount of games. Like, I don't know.
I think obviously we're not from a lower ranked nation. We're from one of the better nations. We support teams in the better nations, but for all these people who I know a lot of European team people who don't have a big nation, they always have like a big team, but to see their like local team, say some like Polish people, seeing their local team playing like a European semi-final will be amazing.
All the away days and everything.
And their fans and they'll be proper fans of those clubs who've been like never just because of the money of the Premier League, the money and even the other big teams, they have no chance to ever like West Ham.
And there might be
we have a chance. We have a chance because how big the Premier League is. We have a chance, slim, but. If we get Champions League, like we could have got this year, to go on a good run and get like quarters or something. But these like Polish, Romanian teams never. The best team in the league might sneak in.
It might unearth some gems as well if you're seeing them.
Yeah.
If you're seeing 32
it's better. I think it is. I think it's good for the smaller teams. I
think
think
it's better,
for Europe, I feel like it's
it.
better because it's gonna show. It's just gonna bring in more revenue. It will improve the quality. I feel like as well because they're gonna make more money. It means they can invest more into their team.
Yeah.
Then they can try bring it up as well. So you can technically say it could go both ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It gives money to those leagues as well, who probably have struggled over the pandemic.
Just think about Spurs. They're going to be in that, and they're going to be the big eye roll, and they're going to go.
Spurs is going to be
whoever draws Spurs is going to.
Yeah, they're going to get. They're going to be.
The amount of money that the Spurs have the best stadium in the world. I don't like that.
Yeah,
it is the best stadium in the world.
Brilliant.
Yeah. They play NFL games there. It brings in probably one of the most revenue in the world. I know they haven't got the most seats.
Yeah. So FC Sion and Bohemian might be playing.
That is going to be crazy.
Their away dates on live on BT Sport in 60,000 seat stadium at Tottenham is just going to be great for them.
It's going to be.
And I know Tottenham have played the past in Europa League, but not in this new stadium. And especially if everyone wants to play the Premier League teams as well. So
it's going to kind of be like when like in the FA Cup and stuff, when a small team draws a big team, it's going to kind of be in a way kind of like that because like Spurs are a big name, and to be honest, they're probably underperforming where they are. It's just going to be like brilliant, like some team randomly from I don't know, like Ukraine is.
Do you think Spurs will go for it, or do you reckon?
I think they're going to try win it.
Do you reckon?
I feel like they have to.
They're just going to put youngsters out.
No, but I think it's just going to be. It's going to be one of the things that like they're just going to play the same team they played in the Europa League.
Yeah.
Because it's not 100%. like you're compromising. Like I never understood that really. If you're in the Europa League, you might as well play the same squad that you're sort of playing in the Champions League because it's the same amount of games. I know Europa League's a bit different because it's Thursday, Sunday compared to Wednesday, Saturday. So it's a bit less rest. But it's like if you're in the Conference League,
worst teams that you can afford to rest some of your
Yeah, but it's
Like,
still
Arsenal
in
playing
day.
their
It's still
knowingly
same. It's the same day, and it's the same gap.
in the group stage anyway.
Yeah, that's where they all like come through, didn't they? Like Smith Rowe and stuff, they were like performing there.
It's a good way to test the players out as well.
100%.
I'm really excited to see how it goes, and just see what happens. It's the first year.
Yeah, why not?
And see what teams get far. And like it said as well, the Europa League's going to improve in quality because you can have less teams, all those like 16 less teams that are now being pushed down to the Conference League, and you get basically 32 teams who are just a bit worse than the Champions League. So, and then obviously you get 3 more Champions League teams. So hopefully, there is a lot of if you lose, you're back in. Like,
yeah, that is a bit. It's a knockout competition. You're like, oh, okay, then we got that. That's a bit. You know,
if you go down a level, it's like, oh, we lose you down. Oh, you're down, and then you're out, and then you're out. But I don't know. They're going to change the format of the Champions League, which I don't like. But if they don't, they'll probably have like a new Europa, a 4th tier division. Which Aston Villa will qualify for.
I feel like this has to be the last one. They can't do another. You can't be going mid-table teams.
What are they going to do with a Super Cup? Are they going to make a new Super Cup? They'll make like a Club World Cup. They'll make like a Club World Cup with it.
I reckon what will happen is Conference League winner plays Europa League winner, and then whoever wins that plays Champions League winner.
Jesus, you have to admit this got to be the end though. 7th is as low as it can for like the teams. You can't be getting like 10th and getting like rewards. I'm sorry, I know it's good for other teams.
It's like, do you remember that period where the Fair Play Award used to qualify for?
Yeah, we qualified for one. But
like you can finish like 13th, but because you have the least yellow cards in the league.
Yeah, no. We played Everton at home one year, and it was us and Everton who we were both like 10th, 11th. Like none of us could actually get into Europe properly, but both of us had like the least yellow cards. So we were pushing, and Everton beat us 2-0, but they got more yellow cards than us in that game. So we were all like, but we're all going on in European. So,
any foul, you just roll.
And like the Everton fans were miserable, all like left early, even though they're winning, and we were all jumping down, just like celebrating. We lost the game. We were celebrating having less yellow cards. And then
imagine like it was a yellow card or something. You scored like a 95th minute winner. You took your shirt off, got a yellow card, and because of that, you were out.
Oh yeah, it was literally like we had less yellow cards. We're getting Europe. Yes, less yellow cards. We're getting Europe. Just don't make any tackles. Just let them have the ball and just stand there. We can lose like 10-0 for all you care.
I don't know how someone thought in a boardroom thought that's a great way to do it.
So thank God that's gone at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think it should be.
Yeah, it should be interesting.
I think overall, when I first thought about it, I was thinking the game stuff. But when you think about it, a lot of the teams, in a sense of like, it's not like there's more. It's because like Europa League's getting smaller and it's getting better quality. And then the teams that are not as good are going down into a bottom of division. There's like a few more extra teams from Europe who are coming in. Yeah. And it's just going to bring in more revenue. And especially like it would be good for the teams like in Spain and like I would say like Prem. They're going to have quite a big name, and you know what I mean. It's going to bring good money.
If we ever get to that Conference League, which we still might, because we might drop in this third.
I think you'll do all right. You know.
If we drop into the Conference League, we're going to be the big name in the Conference League. Like I've never experienced that before, being the favourite. But yeah, it'd be interesting, the different dynamics of football, and I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, Man City can get a job done this weekend. Fingers crossed.
Absolutely not.
Aaron and Dan both switch Chelsea, so they won't want that. But yeah, that's that. If you want more reaction videos, if you enjoyed that, let us know in the comments. We'll do more for you. Thank you for coming on, Aaron. You've been a good guest.
Cheers.
And here's the outro.